What's going on, guys? My name is Matt, and I know for those of you out there wanting to build a PC, trying to find a graphics card right now has been very difficult. Because of this, I decided to give away an Nvidia RTX 3060 Ti. The 3060 Ti is a card that is supposed to sell for around $400 at MSRP, but because of crypto mining and scalpers, they're selling for well over that $400 price point. Heading on to eBay, you'll find the average price of these cards to be over $1,000. This is an increase of over 250% or more over MSRP. So to help one lucky person out, I'll be giving away this card right here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the card itself, its gaming performance, and my thoughts on the overall GPU market / when I think it'll get better. But for those here just for the giveaway, I'll quickly tell you what you have to do to enter. So I'm actually giving this away on Instagram. To enter, all you have to do is head to the link in the description, like this photo of the card, and follow my profile. That's it, no need to subscribe to me on YouTube or do anything else. I definitely would appreciate a subscription, but only do so if you're interested in seeing more of my content. This is an international giveaway, and you will have 4 weeks to enter, with the winner being drawn on July 25th. Once the winner is selected, they will have 48 hours to respond to my Instagram DM, and if they don't, I'll pick a new winner. Once the process is done, I'll announce it on my social media accounts and as a pinned comment to this video. So now that you have an understanding of how this giveaway is going to work, I'll now tell you more about the card you have a chance to win. Like I said before, this is an Nvidia RTX 3060 Ti. This card released about 4 months ago to great reviews from the press, but of course, like every other GPU, it sold out instantly and has been nearly impossible to get through normal channels like Amazon and Newegg. I'll be discussing this problem along with the topic of bots and when we might see the prices begin to return to normal later in the video, but now let's talk about this specific card. This particular version of the Nvidia RTX 3060 Ti is manufactured by Gigabyte and is labeled as the Eagle OC model. This card, like every other 3060 Ti, is 8GB of GDDR6 memory, which is plenty of VRAM for 1080p, 1440p, and in most instances 4K gaming. This is positioned as a mid-range card, and overall the performance on it is amazing, which you'll see in the benchmark section of this video. The cooler design on this card is relatively basic, but that's not a bad thing in my opinion. It's got a squared off design with the main shroud color being a dark gray. It is silver and light blue text along with an RGB LED on the side of the card that can easily be customized. This card has a dual fan design along with a pretty good sized copper heatsink and aluminum fin array. What's interesting is the PCB itself is only around 7 inches, which is 17 centimeters, but overall the card is 9.5 inches, which is around 24 centimeters. Because of this, it means the heatsink is bigger than the PCB, and they actually have it exposed through the backplate, which both looks cool and can help with cooling performance. A few things I'm not fond of with this design is the fact the heat pipes aren't nickel plated and the fact the backplate is made of plastic and not metal. The reason the backplate material is an issue is because plastic backplates in some cases can actually hurt cooling performance. With that being said, those are minor complaints, and overall I think Gigabyte did a good job with the design, and if you're interested in temps, I'll discuss those in a minute. So now let's talk about performance. This is a mid-range to upper mid-range card and really should be paired with a modern i5, Ryzen 5 or higher. Because of this, I tested with a Ryzen 5 5600X. This is AMD's latest and greatest Ryzen 5 CPU, and it's touted by many as the best price to performance gaming CPU available. Along with this, I have 16GB of DDR4 RAM dual channel at 3600 MHz. I tested all these games at 1440p because I believe that's the best middle ground between looks and performance. I tested a bunch of games, but if there's one you didn't see here but would like to see in the future, then let me know. Let's start things off with Fortnite at 1440p Pro settings, which is max view distance, high textures, and pretty much everything else at low. Using these settings, the system put out an overall average of 300 FPS in a Team Rumbles match, which is pretty impressive. There were some frame dips and fluctuations, but overall it was a very smooth experience and enjoyable experience. Moving on to Cod Warzone, I tested that at 1440p high settings with RTX turned off. Doing this resulted in an overall average of 151 FPS. This is great to see that a game like Warzone can play at these settings and resolution with an average over 144 FPS, which I think would be great if you paired the system with a 1440p 144Hz display, which is my preferred gaming monitor. Next up is Rust, which I tested at 1440p with what I think is high settings. Just running around on a random server gave me an overall average of right around 140 FPS. This was very smooth and there weren't any major frame dips or stutters. Next up is a hard to run AAA title, which is Borderlands 3. I tested this using the built-in benchmark at 1440p high settings. Doing this resulted in an average of 89 FPS. This definitely isn't as high as some other games, but it is good proof that you can max out pretty much any game on the system at 1440p with 60 plus FPS. Now let's talk about Apex Legends. I tested this game at 1440p with pretty much everything maxed out. I don't know how to unlock the frame rate of this game, but with that being said, it ran at the capped 144 FPS pretty much the entire time with some occasional dips. Overall, the experience was great in this game and was very enjoyable. Next is Rainbow Six Siege. I tested this game using the built-in benchmark at 1440p very high settings. Now Rainbow Six is very easy to run, so the 315 FPS average I received was to be expected and shows that this card is pretty overkill for a game like Rainbow Six. Finally, I tested another hard to run AAA title, which is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I tested this at 1440p high using the built-in benchmark. Doing this resulted in a 140 FPS average, which again is great to see a AAA title like this running at 1440p with a nearly 144 FPS average. Again, performance on this card is great, and in terms of temps, this card stayed in the mid to upper 60s while gaming most of the time, which is perfectly acceptable. Now in a world where you can get this card for $400, it's an absolute steal, but current MSRP really doesn't mean much, and you'd have to spend more than double to get one. Luckily, I'm giving this one away, and all the instructions to enter are at the beginning of the video and in the description. So now let's talk about the graphics card market really quick. Starting from around January or February of this year, prices have been insane. Last year, cards were hard to come by at times, but the second-hand costs never got this out of hand. I think there are a number of factors contributing to this, including increased demand, increased scalping, and a renewed interest in crypto mining. With that being said, I think things will begin to return to normal by the end of the year. Companies are slowly but surely ramping up production to meet demand, and with Ethereum 2.0 around the corner, GPU mining will become much less profitable in the not too distant future. If you want to learn more about that, I'll leave some links in the description. Overall, the market is super messed up right now, but I'm very hopeful that we have already hit the peak and things will slowly return to normal over the coming months. So yeah guys, I think this wraps this video up. Again, if you want to win this card, all you have to do is head to the link in the description, like the photo, and follow my profile. That's it. If you guys did enjoy this video and this giveaway, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you're notified for future giveaways. And as always, this is Matt from Tech by Matt, signing out.